6 months.
Okay, so you see, oh wow, there we go. So then you want to just quickly cut out your door.
Yes.
And the other cool thing is your kids can make characters. So you want to just fold those doors. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, and then you fold this all together and you just tape the edge.
Right.
Then you want to cut out a square, just eyeball it. Nobody has to be perfect. Nobody cares if the buildings aren't perfect. So you take a square and you're going to just tape it on top of your building like that. All right?
Yes.
So let me show you some of these really cool characters that Luca made Attack of the Ninja City.
Oh, yeah.
So you just cut out their drawings and fold the bottom so that they can walk, and they love it. This is the monster that he made. So it's going to attack the city.
Fair enough.
Okay, so you just put the roof on, and then because it's a top-down camera, I'll just show you guys the city like this. So then when you have all your buildings, you can really build a giant city and have the kids make cars and any kind of thing. So I'll put it up like this, and I'll change the camera angle for you guys because we can do that here on Dave Kelly Live.
What?
In the neighborhood, Mandy's Craft Center.
In the neighborhood, Mandy Stobo's Craft Center. But how fun is this, you guys? And you can just like
fun.
Keep working on it, make cars. Oh,
that's fantastic.
Oh, okay, wait, let me show you. Let me just switch over here quickly. Let's see if this works.
Whoa,
can you see it a little bit?
That looks amazing.
Get it. Totally get it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, hey? Okay, so I'll post that on the internet.
What's your real estate going for?
I'll keep building on the city, and maybe at the end of every week we can show each other our cities.
Okay.
So is that only for kids, or can grown-ups do it too?
I would suggest that grown-ups do it as well. You can also scale it. You can make it out of giant boxes and make an actual city.
Oh,
what?
Man, that's amazing.
It is amazing. And you can put your favorite stores on as signs, and you can still pretend that there's some normalcy in this modern day society.
If Dave gets around to cleaning his basement, he probably has room to build a whole thing for his kids with some of those.
He could, yeah. Isn't that a fun craft? Luca was so excited. It's so good, and you can just keep building and building and building.
I get the 3 to 6 months thing as long as you have the room, right?
Yeah. But this is something that I think could be shown in galleries when the public is open again. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah,
come on into my art store, Dave.
Yeah. It's all I got so far, but I think it's like I like to start. This is like Baltic Avenue. Is that what it is? Baltic?
Yeah.
And we're just going up from here, you guys.
Isn't it great? Oh, it's awesome.
So
I think
good.
John and Tess are gonna love it. Yeah.
Mediterranean's next.
Mediterranean, is that?
Thanks so much for joining me on Mandy Stobo Craft Time, everyone. Over to you, Dave.
Oh,
well done, Mandy.
Oh, wait. I have one more thing to show you. Okay. Just 1 second. 1 second, everyone.
Yeah.
I should have done this before. Okay,
No.
We'll say that again. Welcome, or thank you for joining me at Mandy Stobo's Craft Time.
Oh my
Holy
God.
cow.
we gotta get. Mandy, can we get Mandy one of those big a wig that's
Afros,
that curly-haired wig for that guy that used to paint on PBS?
Oh, Bob Ross.
Yeah.
That's who that was.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I would love that. I'll just order it on Amazon. His
Bob
wigs
Ross
will be
hair.
fine, right? They're clean. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Wait a
I'm sure they put some UV light or something on it.
Let it sit in the corner for 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's fine. Hey, Jim, do you want to read? Jim found a poem, and honestly, folks at home, both of our friends watching at home, Jim has been yelling about this book he's got. So, Jim, why not do a poem before we talk?
You set up Mandy nicely, and all of a sudden you set up me like some sort
We're gonna slow things down a bunch and give it to Jim.
So this is the poem. This is the book, right?
Yeah.
So you read that?
Love poems for married people.
Yes, love poems for married. It was given to me by my pharmacy. I give them such business that they're so kind to me. They gave me a gift basket. Okay. I love those guys. Okay, here you go. Ready? This one is called Yogurt. Yogurt. You went to Costco and took the kids so I could do a work call. You bought the week's shopping and my call was canceled, so I scrolled around YouTube. I don't really know where the 3 hours went, though maybe I napped. I'll tell you what I didn't do. I didn't unload the dishwasher like you asked, or switch the laundry, or call the plumber. But that other thing you asked that I totally forgot. Hold it, I've got to switch pages. And now, watching you put away the groceries, surveying all you've done for us today, I feel the need to thank you. Well, more a question than a thanks, and I granted the tone of it is great, and from your expression I know I'm screwed. But seriously, how did you forget the yogurt?
Yeah. Wow.
Beautiful.
It is a great poem. I love it.
Maybe it's better when it's read with your own eyes.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think it would have been any better at all. I think it was tremendous.
It wasn't what I was expecting. It's almost like that's an end of marriage poem.
No, these are love. These are real poems for real people.
Wow.
Married people.
I love it. I love it.
It's also Mindfulness Mondays on our little skit here. So we have Avnish back to help us be a little more mindful today. And he told me he's got a quadrant to explain. But let's ring him up and see what that means, shall we?
Okay.
He's also in charge of picking our helper. So we'll find out who his helper is today that him and Mandy have been working on.
There he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Avnish is back. Hey, Avnish, how you doing?
Hey, Av.
How's it going?
Whoa.
Good. How are you?
Good to see you, buddy.
Whoa, is that your drawing of Avnish right there?
It is. It is.
Tux. I've never seen you in a tux, man.
It makes me look so skinny. All I can see is this.
Oh, yeah, I can beat that.
Hey, Avnish. Our mailbox is chock full of people saying, Avnish, can Avnish teach me anything about a quadrant? And I'm like, I don't know. I'll ask him. Avnish, you got anything quadrant-wise?
I love that people are asking about the quad. That makes me so happy. I'm going to see if I can flip this around here because I want to do, so I did this.
Whoa.
So this is going to be the affirmation that we're going to start off with here. And it might be a bit glary, but it says,
that's all right.
The universe supports me in every aspect of my life. So that's kind of our starting point here. It's taken off from the all of the greatness from last week. And this is the quadrant. So everybody's been asking about this quadrant, and here it is. The reason that I think all of us, or a bunch of us, and maybe Dave, do you do like gratitude journals? Do you have that kind of stuff at home?
I try to, yes.
Yeah. And how do you do it? Do you do like 3-day? How do you gratitude yourself?
Typically, what we do is it's a bedtime thing with the kids, and we say, what's one of the great parts of your day that you're grateful for? So they just talk about something they liked about the day, and then we all do it.
Love it. Russell, do you keep a gratitude journal?
Not a journal per se, but every
diary.
We try and check in and say, what are you thankful for today? And we just try and thank each other for whatever positive thing happened during the day.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, so I think the normal kind of structure is exactly that, right? We sit down, we sort of have these discussions around gratitude. We chat with each other. We think about it. Part of what we want to do is push it a little further and give it a little bit more structure. And so think about the quadrant. The quadrant's set up very much like an indigenous medicine wheel. So you're thinking about your physical, your emotional, your intellectual, and your spiritual health. And when we start looking at the gratitude piece of this, we want to fill up each one of those quadrants. You guys are amazing. You want to fill up each one of those quadrants in a way that allows for you to reflect on each of those, those 4 parts. And now it actually becomes much more difficult than we think, right? We have these moments of gratitude, like I'm grateful for my kids, I'm grateful for beach, I'm grateful for all the things that are kind of around me. But when we start really diving into these 4 quadrants, that's when things gets real, And so, but I was thinking that maybe the 4 of you could populate each one of these quadrants with something that you're grateful for.
All right.
So, I'm just looking at my map here. So, like, if you look at Mandy's phenomenal graphic work there, where it says, am I grateful for something about my own emotional life, or that something is doing for my emotional life, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be either, right? One, it could be like reflection on you and your emotional life, or it could be something that is happening, that is supporting your emotions. You know, it's really for you to be able to decide which way you want to cut it.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Spiritual. Oh gosh.
So give me a hint on what would go under spiritual. What's your types of?
So the one that I wrote last night around this was I'm grateful for what I call like being in the groove, and for me the spiritual part of that is so I'll see clocks. I'll see like 11:11. I will see 2:22. Like it's just this constant reminder that I'm in the zone, and it's sort of being demonstrated in a physical space. So I was just thankful for being in the zone and for wanting to stay in the zone.
Okay.
Whoa. Oh, you know what? So I'm populating mine.
Okay.
You guys ready?
If anybody has one, they should.
Okay. So do you want me to just yell? We all just yell them out? Is that what we're doing?
I'm not done mine, but you guys go ahead.
Do you need help with the spelling, Jim? Is that the hard part?
I'm doing mine pictographically.
If you want to know how to spell my name, it's D-A-V-E, like for your gratefulness, Jim, just so you know.
D-I-C-K. Got it.
That was your out loud voice, by the way.
You see?
I'm not very... Sorry, Avnish, I'm ruining...
I think that one fits in the physical quadrant.
I like it. Okay, so for spiritual, I want to put music because I find music to be very spiritual, and I think of Russ Broom, Dave Pierce, who's been sending music stuff to me, Jan Arden, if you can believe this, maybe because we talked about it on Friday, but she sent me her singing Happy Birthday to me to play for myself on my birthday. Come on. Who can say they got that from Jan Arden, which was pretty darn sweet. So I think music fits spiritually for me.
Yeah, 100%. Wow.
Awesome.
I like biking. I went for a bike ride. I was very grateful to be able to bike, so I can put that under physical.
Yeah. For me, emotionally, just the amount of patience my partner has, because we're around each other all the time, and that we're both very mindful of making room for one another, and also understanding that in the context of being together 24 hours a day, that when we do go off the rails, we try and, get all those emotions out in the moment and then move forward. And the fact that she's very open to that has been great because it gives us space to feel whatever we're feeling during all of this. So that's huge. Yeah, I'm very lucky.
Whoa. I got to get my act together then, Russ.
It's
hard, though. Yeah.
Emotionally, we had obviously emotionally for me is not too dissimilar to yours, Russ, but we did a great family Mexican-themed dinner with the kids who are all in London right now. And so emotionally, that was really powerful to be connected as a family because we've been so separated for so long. And that was both emotional and spiritual for me, actually.
Yeah, I bet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm grateful for hope and holding on to dreams at this time emotionally. I think it's really important to really hold on tight to that hope that the things that we've built will come back, or they'll come back in a different way, or they'll be built in a new way that will give us similar success to what we were feeling before, and not lose that kind of hope, and not lose the scope of dreams that we can make at this time. I know it probably feels like we can't, but I think it's a really good time to think as big as possible.
Nice.
Love it. We were one of the things I put down for on the intellectual quadrant was the time and the space to kind of pursue those passion projects, those side projects that we've been sort of waiting on, or and so over the weekend it was about using your library card and hopping on to lynda.com and exploring sort of 3 hours of top class videos from some of the best instructors in the world, and just feeling as though you're part of the problem solving space, and so to be backing on what you're saying, Mandy, to be sort of better and better prepared for when we do need to, bring interesting solutions to the table. I want to be intellectually prepared, and the fact that we have the time to be able to do that is so grateful for it, because it's a real treat.
Yeah,
It's so true.
Yeah, you can, it's a good time to be curious,
Totally.
and all these things that you're sort of thinking about, you have the time and the space to explore them and talk about them. So yeah, definitely.
Are you doing any music writing right now, Russ?
Yeah, quite a bit. Well, to be honest, ever since all this happened, I've still been extremely busy. So I'm in the middle of mixing a record for an artist I've just been working with and stuff. So on a work front, I haven't really noticed any kind of dip, which has been a little bit difficult, because trying to manage the emotional effect of everything changing and the world kind of being on pause, yet I'm still kind of tied to this daily routine of having to go in and deliver X amount of work per day. It's been tough to kind of balance that. But yeah, the creative juices are definitely bubbling up, and I do take time every day to try and create something. Usually it's why I kind of go into the studio fairly early in the morning, because I'm more creative in the morning. I'm not a night person that way, which is kind of odd because I play this for a living. But I'm more of a creative morning person before my judgment turns on, and I can just be creative and just get those ideas out. So yeah, I've been trying to do that and balance it with the amount of work, knowing that in a week or so the work's going to be quieter, and then I'll have all these seeds of ideas I can pursue once my schedule is a little more open.
Brilliant.
That is SMRT. No, it's hard though. We'll talk a little bit more. Mandy, what's one of your quadrants? Tell us about a quadrant of yours.
I just, I'm just kidding. Well, physically, spiritually, emotionally, I am beyond grateful for the time with my kids. There were so many moments over the last couple of years of building and hustling what I was doing, and I was taking my one career in visual art and kind of funding it into new tech and new ideas in that world. And so I kind of had these two things to balance. So there was never a break. So there was always get the kids, make the dinner, kind of briefly listen to them, but you're always somewhere else. Yeah. So the fact that I get to sit down, we played Uno for 4 hours yesterday, to the point where Jack and I had we kept doubling up the +4s, and we each had 185 cards in our hand, and then it got down to 1 and 1. It was Uno, and then Jack won. Anyway, those moments I had when I was single mom with Jack, and I didn't have a job when he was a baby, but I didn't have those for a decade, and Luca's never seen me as present as I am now. So I'm very, very grateful for that.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's beautiful.
Now, part of what we were doing is we asked Avnish, as we asked many of our guests, to talk about someone they're grateful for, speaking of grateful, and a helper in our world. And that was your assignment, Avnish. Tell us, how did that go, and what'd you come up with?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so many people doing great things right now. The two folks that I want to chat about and profile are they're both really they're on the front line in a bit of a different way. And so Jessica Wen Johnson and Magno Daria, otherwise known as Chef Magno Daria. So these two folks, I had the chance to meet them about 8 or 9 years ago. They work for an organization called CCIS, which is a nonprofit organization here in town that does settlement services. But they are specifically focusing on foreign workers and newcomers. And what they're dealing with right now is as all of the foreign workers have been brought in to really run so many pieces of our economy. So you think about farming, supply chain, service delivery. So you think about kind of the typical things that we see is in Tim Hortons, the majority of those folks are all brought in from other places to serve us to grab our foods and our coffee. These folks are the ones that are supporting those folks. So they're coming from all over the world. They're in Calgary, and they're creating community for those people to feel sort of at home, connected with others, connecting them with government services should that be required. And chatting with them last week, they're dealing with 4,000 to 5,000 people a year, and so it's just this incredible influx of need and service. They deliver it in a way that is highly personal. They are creating events and community pieces. A lot of it's around sort of food and sort of bringing people together. But it's going to be a tough go now. And so when we're seeing sort of all of these layoffs happen, we're seeing all of these folks lose their jobs. There's a big population of these foreign workers that were about to go home here on April 1st. And now we're all locked up and can't get home, can't continue to work because their work permits have expired. And so they're sort of in this middle zone of not knowing. And so folks like Magno and Jessica are the ones that are doing that work. They're advocating on behalf of government. They are connecting with other frontline workers. They are creating sort of food drives and medicine drives, and they're doing it all. And they will have those smiles on their faces sort of every time that you see them, because it's just the type of people that they are. And so this is the heroes that are doing the work. And wanted to talk about the two of them because they're a dynamic duo, and the organization that they work with is pretty incredible. But the two of them are just outstanding.
Magno and Jessica.
Thanks for sharing, Avnish. That's
That is
awesome.
amazing.
Good, solid people. That's great. Thanks, Avnish.
You're welcome.
Nice work, Mandy.
Thanks,
Nice
babe.
work, Mandy Stobo. That's so good. Should we do a quick story and then dance our way out of here and see everyone tomorrow? What do you think, Jimmy?
Sure.
Sounds
Mandy?
good to me.
I just would like to show the coloring that we are going to be doing today.
What coloring are you going to be doing today, Mandy Stobo?
Well, I thought we could celebrate our Mr. Rogers celebrity, the one that just came home from LA. And we're going to do Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, everyone.
What the?
Oh, they just came
so
back.
So that'll be they just got back. I thought it'd be a fun celebration of hope and some fun things to do with your kids. You could even go through every Tom Hanks movie with your kids. That should buy you a couple of weeks. Time. So that's great. And then I will also, Avnish, that wonderful diagram, I'll put that up there so people can print it and populate it themselves, because that might be nice to see.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Tom Hanks. Yeah. What about, really quick, favorite Tom Hanks? You got one?
Oh, Turner and Hooch, or The Burbs.
Big.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Big.
Perfect Strangers, the TV show.
Look at that.
What about There's No Crying in Baseball? What about that one?
Yeah, so good.
League of Their Own. And, of course, Forrest Gump, but that's a good one.
Avnish?
What's your favorite Tom Hanks?
Perfect Strangers. That's a great one. Turner and Hooch is pretty rad.
Turner and Hooch.
No, what about the Money Pit? Oh.
I just watched that last night.
You did not.
I did too. It was on TV, on cable.
So good. When we were building this house, I was like,
I can't see you, Mandy.
Oh, you can't?
I can see her. I see her.
When we were building this house, and there was a few things that went wrong, I was like, let's watch The Money Pit. And then by the end of it, both Bill and I were like crying and sweating. We were like, oh my God.
I love the crying and sweating.
Tom Hanks brings out the best in you, Mandy.
He's got some good ones, eh? Catch Me If You Can, Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh, yeah, that one.
So good.
Saving Private Ryan, Castaway.
Yeah.
Wilson.
Are you Googling, Dave?
Maybe.
What about Sully? I never saw Sully, but...
Oh, Sully's good, too.
Is it good? All right. Mr. Rogers, obviously.
Mr. Rogers. So when you watched Mr. Rogers, I was really having a hard time keeping up with his cadence, or slowing down to his cadence as he spoke. Yeah. Which is how Mr. Right. And I read in an interview how he said that was the hardest part about that, was to be more back down.
Sorry.
All
right. Now I'm going to tell a tragic story. This is the tragic tale from Dave's birthday. So, yes. It's called Winning at Parenting. Can I hear that chord again? This is how Dave won at parenting. So it was my birthday, as you can imagine, and there was a few people that called and wanted to say hello. And I don't know if this is just with my kids, but I've never found the say hi to blank works. So when grandma calls, hey, John, come say hi to grandma. Sometimes it works. most of the time it lasts about 4 seconds, and then they're bored and they want to leave. So FaceTimes or any of these things that the kids are using today, there was a lot of that going on Saturday. So people would call and they'd all want to say hi, which is great. And why wouldn't I want to say hi? At one point, though, John had clearly had enough, and I had him sit on my knee, and I said, say hello, or sit close and say hi. And he was just that thing a 9-year-old does where he just yells stuff like banana in the middle of a conversation. And I'm like, and so John, how was your day today? Tell grandma. Banana! Was a lot of that going on. So at a certain point in one of these FaceTimes, I said, okay, John, if you can't talk, then you can't be part of the phone call. So then I said, so I just moved him off, say, go over there and play. And then he came back and he yelled something again. And I calmly said, okay, maybe go to your room just for a little bit and calm down and come back. So I may have said it a little stronger than that. I'm not sure. But I was so tense because I was trying to make everyone happy and I was trying to be grateful for the call and I was trying to make John involved in everything. But anyway, the best part of that was in the middle of it all, I hear Tess in John's room saying, why are you crying? And then I hear John scream at Tess to get out of the room. This is all going on still while I'm on the FaceTime with relatives about this beautiful birthday I'm having. So I leave. I bolt out of the call and I say, I'm just going to go. I'll be right back. And I go in and John is crying on his bed. And because he goes, I wanted to be part of it and you wouldn't let me be part of it. And you didn't even tell me what I was doing wrong and you kicked me out. And he was just distraught. So I'm thinking this is good because on my birthday, this beautiful day, I've managed to make my son feel bad about himself, feel out of the family, and I've made him cry. So that was good. And so I tried to stay with him, and then I went back and finished the call, and I went and talked to him, and I don't think I got anywhere. And then folded up, I got a note, all folded up, and then I opened it, and as a precursor to this, every morning since this whole thing started, John and I get up early, because we do, and go for a walk. So this is what he wrote for me. He did this little piece of paper, and it says, Dad, walking with you, Dad, is the best father-son thing ever to do with you. Love, John. So then I thought, it's like, and I've been saying to you guys, I find this, when it's going well, it goes so well, but when it goes off, I don't know what to do. And I'm stuck in this house and I'm making him cry, and Blythe is looking at me and I'm like, I don't know what I've done. This is my birthday. Everyone having a good birthday so far. And I was thinking that I'm lucky enough that I can make up for that. I can say, hey, let's figure it out. But I know that there are lots of people out there who are stuck in their houses by themselves and are trying to FaceTime with people who aren't listening or can't or don't have the technology or whatever it is. So first of all, I just want to say, John, if you're ever watching this 40 years from now, I'm sorry I made you cry. That was a shitty thing. And that was. And here we are, and we're all in this together, and I'm lucky that I have you guys. So that's my story.
That's a great story, Dave.
Love you, Dave.
See, happy court.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love you.
So we do the happy birthday again and cheer him up.
Gosh, it was
Yeah.
I was just like, what have I done? It's so but it's hard. You're right in each other's faces, and the poor kid. I remember I'm that way now, and I'm 57, and I yell stuff out. So why can't he yell stuff out when he's 9? I don't know. But apparently he wasn't allowed to at that moment. Kids. That's my entire story.
That was a great
amazing.
story.
So tomorrow on the show, Jimmy, you're not going to be here.
No, I have it all depends on how long this call goes, but I got a phone call I got to do.
All right, fair enough. And Mandy, do you have a city going at all? Do you have anything at all that?
I'm working on it. Hold on, this is a new frame, so I'm working on it.
You could be. See, if John was there, he would definitely be King Kong, and that would be a very short-lived city.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. We can, let them take their emotions out on little things like this. They're feeling stuff. They just don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Build a city, knock it down. Do it again tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, there we go. I'm trying.
There. There. Well, look I feel like a dance coming on. Avnish, thanks so much for being part of our little skit.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And I'm going to try to keep all our quadrants alive. Jimmy, thanks for the supper again. You and Tracy are lifesavers, and everything was good except for the vegetables. So other than that, it was great supper.
Hey, did you like the loot bags? Everybody got a loot bag, right?
Oh, and the kids went bananas for their loot bags, including all of the art projects that Tracy sent. So it's been a lot of loot. Yes.
A lot of loot.
All right, Russ, are we ready for this? Are we ready to dance out? Let's dance, everyone.